He's a lower-end player, but if you are feeling frisky, Russ Wilson has injected some life here. He'll probably get this on one catch. Let's pop out some picks here, and we'll try and end the week on a high note because it's been a rough week here on this show. Not great over for my picks officially at fantasypoints.com, 15-10. Some bad beats. I am feeling 2-0 tonight, though. And by the way, I am actually doing very well on Monday Night Football for the record. It's 15-4 is my record on Monday Night Football. Just throwing that out there. That's 79%. Well, let's get into it without any further ado. Number one, Najee Harris. I'm going for Najee here. 62.5. This actually, I believe I have it on the website from Saturday morning at 63. So it's actually been bet down 1 yard, which does concern me just a little bit, but I just do not see the Giants having an offense tonight, basically. So it is in Pittsburgh. I don't know probably doesn't matter all that much, but it's certainly, you always want your defense when you're leaning on a defense to be at home, and they are. So volume for Najee. This is not very complicated. Don't check it at the half because it may not look great, but this is kind of what Najee does. He did it last week. The last 2 weeks, you're like, he's not really crushing it. And then you're like, oh, wow, ran for 100 yards. So I do think we're looking at a good game here from Najee Harris with volume. Giants, they can be good against the run, but they can be bad. They are allowing 5.2 yards per carry. Of course, last week, they just got run over by the Eagles. 269 rushing yards last week. Jaylen Warren is getting more involved. Maybe he does get 10 carries in this game, but I think we should feel pretty good about it because Najee is the closer. He's the Mariano Rivera of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm getting good indications that we're going to get some volume late, obviously. The fact that they are, what is it, 6-point home favorites are the Steelers. So that bodes well for Najee to get the ball. And of course, Artie Smith has never seen a run game design or concept that he didn't like. So we're going in on Najee at over 62.5. And we're also, because of the catch total odds are a little bit much, let's go over 36.5 for Wan'Dale Robinson. Mr. Safety Valve. Malik Neighbors will be seeing a lot of Joey Porter, the shutdown corner. The Steelers are giving up the 9th fewest yards per route run to slot receivers, but also the 13th most receiving yards per game out of the slot. So that was enough for me to go with Wan'Dale, but most likely he'll have like 3 catches on the first drive. Granted for like 16 yards, but still we'll be adding to the totals all game, and we will go at least 37 yards for Wan'Dale Robinson. Not the greatest odds on these, but we are, I guess, real close to game time. I do have some leans here as well. And speaking of Jaylen Warren, you noticed last week because Justin Fields was actually throwing to Najee. Now, granted, part of that was Jaylen Warren was banged up and not himself. But Najee only had 1 target last week. Russ Wilson did target Jaylen Warren 3 times last week. He caught 2 balls. So I think he'll catch a couple at the least and hit this number, 13.5. It's not an official pick. We'll just make that a lean. And we will also make Calvin Austin III a lean over 18.5 receiving yards here. Once again, the Giants do play a lot of single high, and that does leave them somewhat vulnerable to big plays down the field. Obviously, you only have 1 safety back there in the deep portion of the field. And again, their pass rush is pretty good, but Russ Wilson has injected some life here. They're going to have success on the ground, I think, and open up some play action opportunities. Russ Wilson taking his shots. Doesn't take much. He'll probably get this on 1 catch. He'll definitely get opportunities to get 19 yards. Again, this is only a lean. He's a lower-end player. But if you are feeling frisky, Calvin Austin over 18.5 yards. He is kind of the shot play guy. Roman Wilson, by the way, is out. And Van Jefferson is just not very good. I know he scored last week. They got Scotty Tuhati Miller as well. So Calvin Austin's their shot play guy. He is their slot receiver. Those are 2 picks and 2 leans. Last up, we have the Thursday night special. The best bet tonight, the Thursday night special, it is brought to you by G-Bank, the official bank of VSiN. The G-Bank Visa signature card is your best bet, delivering 1% cash back rewards on eligible gaming transactions and 2% cash back rewards on all other eligible purchases. For more information, head to VSiN.com/GBank. That is VSIN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. This is one of the alternative receiving yards props, and it's Calvin Austin. We are going to go over 30.5 receiving yards tonight. Again, this is high risk, so he could goose egg us tonight. He could get 2 or 3 targets, and they're downfield throws, and they don't connect, or because they play a lot of single high, thus leaving them vulnerable to big plays. And then, of course, all eyes on George Pickens. Maybe Calvin Austin can be a little sneaky tonight, sneak past the defense for a big play. Keep in mind, it's also not a very good matchup for Pat Freiermuth in the middle of the field. The Giants have yet to allow a tight end to score, and it is not a good schematic matchup for Pat Freiermuth, who is averaging a pretty weak 1.5 yard per route run on 103 routes against single high, which the Giants run at the second highest rate. I've spent so much time analyzing this puppy, it's bound to hit. No Freiermuth, probably yes for George Pickens. And there's nothing else here but Calvin Austin making one big play, going over 30.5 for plus 205 for your Monday night special. Good luck with all your plays. That's a wrap.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.